Well, hello, welcome back to Journal Mojo. My name is Kate, and today it's time to get set up for a brand new week in my Hobonichi Cousin Avec. So let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so let's go ahead and, oh, that's a really cute picture of me and my husband when we went to a wedding recently. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. Get set up for this week. I thought while I am putting everything in, I'd give y'all some little updates on things that are going on in my life and that I'm really excited about. They're new changes, they're new things all around. Ooh, I'm all discombobulated because I'm doing a different method. So first I'm gonna go in and cover up this little calendar right here. But the newest and most exciting of my news is that I got a new job, and I will be starting that in January. So I have a month left to, do I want this dude? I think we'll go with this one. So I've got a month to sort of get everything situated and in order. This is something that has been going on in the background since September. It's been a very long, arduous process and it has taken just a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of effort to get all of this. There's been a lot of steps, a lot of paperwork, just a lot of moving pieces to this, but I finally got word this week that everything had cleared and that I am good for starting in January, which I am so excited about. I'm not really going to go into any details other than it's not library work. I'm not working in a library anymore. But I've been trying to get into this organization for like 10 years. No joke. It's been a very, very long, long thing that I've been working on. So I am really excited about it. And that's kind of, my biggest news, but it's gonna, necessitate a change. It'll be back to working, 40 hours for someone that is not myself. But there's a lot more flexibility in the schedule to set things up the way that I want them to be and for what's going to ultimately work best for me and my family, which is really nice. The pay is great, the benefits are great. There will be some opportunities for work travel, which I'm sure people will tell me is not nearly as exciting as I think it's going to be, but I've never had the opportunity to travel for work before. And so I'm really kind of jazzed about that. It's a totally different line of work, and I'm just really, really jazzed about the whole thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means that, some things will change. Like I've been doing 2 uploads for this. I definitely won't be able to keep that up. It's gonna have to be a once a week upload, and that might change depending on if I have a work trip or something like that. I don't know how to anticipate for that because it's not something that I've ever done before. So I'm just really looking forward to it. I'll be working with my sister, which I'm really super excited about. Her and I work really well together, and it's just going to be really nice. I'm very excited. So shortly, I will have something up for my work planner and what my plan is for my work planner, and I think I might also do a little something on my previous work planners. They don't really contain any information that is sensitive in any capacity. Anything that is, I can just block out. But I've gone through a number of different systems for my actual jobs, and that was something that I remember looking for years ago and not really finding a ton of stuff online. And I totally get why there wouldn't be a lot of things for it because, at a job, you are just working with sensitive material that your employer doesn't necessarily want you to put out all over the internet for like details or, account information or whatever. So I 100% understand why it's difficult to find that information, but it was something that I really wish I had been able to find more of when I was first trying to figure out what I was going to do for keeping track of everything at work. I looked for a ton of different ideas and systems, and I tried bullet journals and Hobonichis and other planners, and I tried a bunch of different things, you know, before I finally landed on things that worked really well for me. So I might go through and kind of do an overview of the different planning methods that I've tried over the years of, you know, working. So that's my biggest news. And if that's why I've been so stressed out and just feeling a lot of pressure recently, is because a lot of this is, it's time sensitive stuff. There's just a lot of moving parts with it. So that's a big part of what's been going on recently. I'm gonna go in with these little food stickers to do my dinner tracker. They are super cute. They're from Mindwave, and it's just a variety of different little food characters. I think I might go in with, I think I'm gonna go in with this lettuce dude. He's pretty cute. I was thinking about King Potato, but I think I'm gonna go with him. Oh, look at his cute little baddie. Adorable. Love it. Okay. Perfect. So my little sidebar is all done. This is just keeping track of all of the things that I like to keep track of on a regular weekly basis. And now I'm going to pop in and see what events I have got going on. So let's see, I've got a hike with a friend of mine on Tuesday, and then I've got D&D with the bros, so that should be super fun. I've been trying something a little bit different for my monthly pages, where instead of just doing like a memory, I'm trying to do something that is more akin to like a gratitude log or a gratitude journal, just one thing that is really positive and nice about what happened during the day. I did a little bit of this here, and I kind of fell off of it in the last couple of weeks. It's not something that I'm really used to doing, and so if I don't actively think about it, I'll just 100% forget. But it's just kind of something that I'm working on attempting to do again. I've tried to do gratitude logs and gratitude journals before and have never really been able to stick with it, but you know, I'm always up for trying things. So, and there was an episode of Big Mouth that talked about, it was anxiety, right? So there are anxiety mosquitoes in this, because it's all about kids going through puberty. It's an amazing show. I love it a lot. But there is the anxiety mosquitoes, and they're basically like little annoying mosquitoes that fly around, and they get bigger and bigger and more powerful as you get more and more anxious. And one of the characters is going to therapy because her parents are getting divorced and she's having a really tough time with it. And her therapist is trying to get her to do a gratitude log or a gratitude journal as a way to combat the anxiety, right? To focus on the positive things. And she ends up having this, it's a really trippy Halloween episode, but she has this whole interior journey, I guess, where she meets the gratitoad, and it's this toad who is really grateful for things, and it's the way that she ends up learning how to combat her anxiety. But there was something about the gratitoad that really kind of resonated with me, and I am trying it out. So I don't know why. It took a cartoon and a weird little creature called the gratitoad for me to actually like get on board with it and kind of understand the way that it would work or the way that it could work. So their official campaign name is the Dummy Thick Steely Boys, which is really funny, and I don't know why, because I just recently joined it, so I was not privy to why it is called that. So that means my Sunday reset is basically not going to happen because those games are kind of long. They usually go until about 4. So got that going on. That's cool. Feeling good about it. The other thing that is kind of going on in my wee little world is that I've been moving back in towards being vegan again. I was vegan for a couple of years, maybe, I guess it's getting close to like 5 years ago. And I think I've mentioned this before that, you know, I had a bunch of problems and I just couldn't stick with it and all of that kind of stuff. But I've been reading a lot more and I've been learning a lot of new things. And, you know, basically I did a lot of things wrong. I created some of the problems for myself. And I think there was a little bit of this, not to say that I am like perfect. I'm very much like transitioning into it. And I don't really think that there's such a thing as being, for me, like a perfect vegan. And I think that was part of it. So now I just say that I am like extreme vegetarian if people are asking. But, you know, the way that I feel in relationship to my food is a little bit complicated, I guess. It's just, there's a lot of stuff wrapped up in it. And I'm not going to get into like a ton of details about it, but it's something that's important to me. It's something that if I'm eating meat, I have to basically like stop thinking about it and just sort of disassociate from what I'm doing. And I don't particularly want to do that anymore. And so I've been trying to figure out how to make this like a long-lasting and sustainable option for myself. And what are the things that I need to do? Where is that line between like what I can manage versus where I am going to sort of like crash and burn? Because the last time that I did this, I didn't do any kind of transition. I basically dove into it head first. I threw out everything that wasn't vegan in my house and I just went ham on it, like cold turkey all the way in. And there were a few problems that I had. Like one, I wasn't supplementing correctly. And two, I kind of fell into that idea that like I shouldn't have to supplement. I should just be naturally healthy all by myself. That's really what I wanted. And that is not the case. Even now, like even if I started eating meat again, I ate meat for a few years, like it didn't improve anything. I still had to take all of the same kinds of medications. Like that doesn't really factor into it anymore. But it was, so I guess I had a little moment where it was like, well, if I am going to have to take all of this anyway, then I might as well eat the way that makes me feel better emotionally and psychologically, since none of that really seems to matter anyway. So I guess that was part of my whole thought process for it. But last time that I tried to do this, I did not know how to cook. And I guess that was kind of a benefit of the pandemic, because I used to eat out a lot. Michael and I, that was like our favorite activity. It was to go out, it was to, try new things and just explore the food culture, if you will, of wherever it was that we were living. And I didn't know how to cook. And so when I basically went ham on it, I never learned how to have a body of dishes that I could easily make for myself that were well balanced. What I ended up doing, like in retrospect, is I took the things that I liked and just sort of took the meat and the dairy out of them, which meant that I had just a ton of carbs basically. And nothing about my diet was well balanced or nutritionally appropriate, and I just didn't realize it. So now, thanks to the pandemic, I know how to cook and I enjoy cooking a lot more. So it doesn't take me 4 hours to make a dinner like it did when I was first trying to do this. Okay, so this is the Cartoon Girl pack that I really like. I'm going in for some decoration. I'm also going to, I think, pull in some from this blue sticker pack. I really like him. Maybe like a snowflake. Keep it kind of a little simple. Kind of digging that. That could be nice. Let's see what else we have in here. Oh, I got some blue dots. I don't think I'm feeling those. But anyway, and I feel like the stuff that I've run into recently, it's a lot different from the vegan environment that I was a part of, 5 or 6 years ago. Well, I guess maybe this was closer to like 7 years ago. But it was a lot more of the, if you slip up, like you're a failure and you can't really call yourself a vegan, and you know, if you can't maintain it perfectly, then like, what is even the point? Like, you just suck as a human being. And I don't think that's the case. I've thought a lot about this, you know, and so anyway, all of that is to say is that I'm moving in that direction again, and I'm feeling really good about it. The other thing is that the climate where I worked at the time and my own family, I was the only vegan or vegetarian other than, well, Michael was vegetarian at the time, I think. But it meant that like whenever I was at work, for some reason, it was like a thing. And so people would introduce me to someone new and they'd be like, oh, hey, this is Katie, she's vegan. What does this even have to do with the conversation at hand? But it just became this all-consuming, overwhelming thing that was always present, regardless of whether or not I had brought it up. So, you know, there was that. So yeah, so I kind of hesitated to put a label on it or talk about it in any capacity, but it's just kind of one of those things, I guess. I don't really know if there's a point to where I'm going with any of this. There's just stuff that's going on. All right, so now I am gonna go in and highlight. Oh wow, I totally forgot to put my little header over here. This is part of the problem of talking and doing all of this at the same time. It's really easy for me to get sidetracked. Okay, we'll come back to that one. My camera's getting ready to die. It's just chaos everywhere. But this is pretty much it for what I'm gonna be doing. I'm just keeping it really simple and clean so that I can fill it up with everything that happens over the course of the week. Has this little guy dried? Ooh, maybe. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna risk it. Oh, it wasn't quite dry enough. That's okay. There we go. All right, so that is looking pretty lovely, pretty clean, pretty simple, ready for a fresh new week. And I guess that's pretty much that. So I hope that you enjoyed this rambly little setup for the week. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.